Jasper,
Hi,
good evening.
good evening.
Welcome to India and welcome to the Chrome DM office.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good, fine.
How are you coping up with the pollution? Do you find it
Uh,
polluting?
yes, a lot of froggy, but I think it's fine, is it?
It's not that polluting.
Yeah.
Right. But Delhi is relatively higher in pollution compared to Bombay.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Delhi,
But I think that today the weather is a bit cooler than Bombay.
yeah. So tell me, I want to understand more about the satellite business.
Right.
I believe it's a very capital intensive business.
Yes, it's a very high capital intensive, and every time we launch a satellite, it costs us around 300 to 350 million.
That's the launch cost, or does it include the cost of the satellite as well?
The cost include launch, satellite, launcher, satellite, and insurance.
So that's about 300,000 on an average for a satellite. And how many do you have right now?
We have 4.
So that's about $1.2 billion.
Right. Yes.
So that's a pretty capital intensive business,
Yes.
right? And these investments are staggered across a period of
15 years. Each satellite lasts for 15 years.
right.
Yeah.
So just to understand, so with a 1.2 billion capital investment, what are your annual what are your top lines?
Well, our
on
turnover is
average?
around 150 to 180 million.
Okay, that's about 180 million with a capex of about 1.2 billion.
Yes.
So that's a pretty healthy business,
Yes.
right?
Our EBITDA is around 80%.
That's pretty high,
Oh, wow.
80%.
80%.
So, what are your cost centers? So where does whatever you spend? What's your biggest?
Well, apart from the cost for the satellite, the rest will be the insurance cost for protecting the satellite and human resource, because we heavily invest on the top engineer to help us to maintain to operate the satellite.
So within the highest cost you said is maintenance
Yes.
for the satellite, which is like insurance, which
Insurance.
would come to approximately on an annual basis for all the
1% on the cost of the satellite.
of the capital. That's
Yes.
a huge amount.
Yep.
And the second cost you said is manpower.
Manpower.
So within manpower, it will be skewed towards the technical side.
Technical side, yes.
Right.
Like we have 120 staff in the company.
Right.
60% is engineer. So they have a 24 hours tracking the satellite, make sure the satellite run properly.
You've been are you an engineer by any chance? What's
I'm
your-
sorry, I'm not.
Not yet?
I'm
Okay.
not.
But you're heading the revenues for the entire business.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you've been with Apstar for what, 17 years now?
18 years.
Is this the first job?
No, third job.
Brilliant. So,
Yes.
but 18 years is a pretty stable
Yes.
and period, right? So,
Right.
enjoying traveling across and
Oh yeah, I enjoy traveling, meet people,
Huh.
discuss how the business grows, because we don't just sell the capacity, we grow together with the customer. So we find what is your problem, try to understand their problem, and how to solve their issue and grow together.
So, Jasper, how many channels do you have globally on Apstar?
More than 200 channels in Apstar, carried by our 4 satellites
And they would have the footprint across the globe or
Yes.
a major chunk of the globe.
from Africa to Hawaii.
That's the breadth of.
Yes, we can cover
Yeah.
from Africa to Hawaii.
That's a huge volume
Yes.
of channels. What's your footprint? So globally, the satellites that you have, they will be
Well,
addressing what
We have
percentage of
the premium satellite we have is called Apstar 7.
Apstar 7?
Apstar 7, which is cover 75% of the population, the world population.
Wow.
Right. So it's covered from Africa to Australia. So they have the most premium channel, international channel is carried by this satellite.
On
This-
Apstar 7.
Yes. To distribute to those whole Asia market.
75% of the human population could access a channel or any basis that one satellite,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Is that like the biggest footprint from a satellite business as a solo satellite?
Yes.
Or you got satellites which cover up a 90 or 100%?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest satellite can cover the huge population.
That's a huge volume. Tell me, as far as the satellite business is concerned, you are going through. It's a pretty competitive market, right? So you've got an SAS, you've got Intelsat.
Yes.
Is that diminishing margins? Is it getting tougher to do business?
Oh yeah, we always face a very challenging.
You got a 80% EBITDA.
Yeah, but the challenge from the price, but we are not. Sometimes we are not compete from the price. We compete from the service we provide. Okay, and satellite coverage is every satellite have different coverage, so we try to find out what's the customer need, and we make sure the customer can reach their subscriber.
Tell me a differentiator. So if I'm a broadcaster in India, right? So why would why would I want to be on your satellite vis-a-vis so many of the choices, right? You have
As I say just now, we cover 75% of the
okay, that's a
population,
great universe. Okay.
right? And we have other premium channel on our satellite that will bring the neighborhood to if you have a channel.
Could you define the neighborhood that you're talking
Well,
about?
means a lot of antenna on the cable head end already pointing on our satellite because of some premium channel is on our satellite. So once they receive the premium channel, at the same time they can receive your channel.
So you are saying that if I was to be on Apstar,
Yeah.
I already have a decent chunk of cable and decent chunk of dishes pointing towards your satellite.
Correct.
So the reach is faster.
Yes.
Okay. So
Right.
that's a USP. So the function of carriage is basically how many cable operators have their dishes aligned
Yeah. Right.
aligned to you. So
Correct.
is that a USP for you guys?
Yes. So that is why we growing so fast is because we can help the broadcaster to deliver to more eyeball.
Tell me about the KU band on DTH. So in that case, there is no neighborhood issue because if I was to subscribe to a DTH service, once I buy the dish, I'll point it towards your satellite,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And how would the revenue split? So primarily, if you were to go into cable versus DTH,
Well, for TTH normally they are direct to home. Okay. They don't really go for the cable operator basically. So, but from us we don't have anything in India for the DTH, but we have in Myanmar, in Thailand, no, Myanmar, in Taiwan, in China. We have our DTH platform.
okay. And in terms of, you said you got about 120 people right now. So they
Yeah.
would be spread across how many countries? So you got offices in
Our main office in Hong Kong.
that's your main office.
Yes, we have colleague in US, we have colleague in Dubai, and we have colleague in Indonesia.
Okay, so these are
Basically,
three
it's,
centers managing,
yes.
and you guys keep traveling.
Yes,
Jasper, how many days in a month do you travel?
half the month I'm not in Hong Kong.
You're in Hong Kong, so you're happy about that?
Yeah.
No, first let me ask, is your wife happy about that?
My wife happy about that because you don't need to see me every day.
That's a cool. What about you? Are you happy about it?
Yeah.
You enjoy the travel and all?
I enjoy travel.
You like spicy food?
Yes,
You like spicy food?
yes.
Wow, so I'm going to take you for a spicy dinner with
Good. Thank you first.
with Anthony today. Anything else that you think we should know about Apstar? Because you've got some 4 or 5 satellites. The satellite business is something that it's very B2B.
Right.
So we are also in a B2B business.
Right.
We're with broadcasters, so we're not in a B2C business. In your case, it gets even more B2B, right? So
Correct.
people don't. So if I'm a channel, how much do I typically spend? I used to spend about, I think when I was part of UTV, we were paying almost 12 lakhs a month, which is in dollars, it's about $20,000 dollars a month was the uplinking cost per channel. Are the numbers pretty much the same, or you spend more or less? How does it work?
I think it's pretty much the same.
$20,000 per month per channel.
Yeah.
And does it go up for high definition and 4K?
Well, that will be slightly increased because they need more capacity on that.
They need more capacity on that. So,
Yeah.
and would it be directly in terms of a 4K would be 4 times of high
no, no,
definition?
no,
The ratio
no.
would be
Might
slightly
be,
higher.
40% to 50%
Hike
high.
for the bigger ones.
Yes.
So I think so the entire thing. And are you the business is such? Is it dependent on these 2 or 3 key clients that contribute 80% of your revenues, or it's uniformly spread?
We spread it out nowadays because before that there 1 or 2 anchor client,
Right.
but the business is very challenging, so we try to make up other customers as well.
Right. Jasper, I want to get into the satellite business. I've got $1 billion. I don't. I'm just saying this. So if I had $1 billion and I want to get into the satellite business, how do I go about getting into the satellite business? What is the first thing I do? Whom do I take approvals for? Because the space is beyond the jurisdiction of Earth. So there is no one country, right? Or is it specific to countries that you do it?
Well, I think the first thing you need to have a license from your country.
Okay.
Okay.
And they'll have security regulations and all of that.
Yes. Secondly, you need to have a slot. The slot is owned by the ITU, International Telecommunication Union. So you need to have a slot before you can put a satellite.
Right.
Okay.
So you need
Before a slot, even you have money, sorry, you're
Right,
out
because
of
you
the
want
game.
the satellites colliding with each other, right?
Yes.
Is that also is getting a little too trafficy up there? You don't get to visit your satellites, right?
No, we don't. That's why the slot is very valuable now.
So who owns the slot?
The ITU
And you want to tell us more about the ITU? It's an international.
is an International Telecommunication Union. So they manage the slot on. So if you need to have it, you need to apply through them. And nowadays you have to queue more than 10 years.
There's a queue of about 10 years to get into the satellite thing.
Right.
Right, and there is no. Okay, so then I think the catch here is the queue, because
queue.
if you're operating a 1.2 billion capex,
Yes.
with a top line of almost $200,000, 180,000, seems to be a highly profitable business with an
Yes.
EBIT of 80%. But the catch here is there's a waiting of 10 years.
Yes.
Brilliant. Superb having you here,
Thank you.
and good luck. Have a great time, and we
Yeah.
wish you lots of success in India.
You too. Thank you.
Cheers, Jasper.
Cheers.
Cheers.